welcome back to Sydney semi-finals day at the 2012 Yonex Australian Badminton Open. The Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge, two of the striking landmarks of this fabulous harbourside city, which this week is playing host to some striking world badminton as well. It is a truly international event this year, upgraded to Grand Prix Gold event in 2011. Over 300 athletes taking part from 29 countries. And as it's semi-finals day, it's time for the first semi-final in the men's singles. And in a competition where it has been fierce, to say the least, the top 4 seeds are the men through to the semi-finals. Gentlemen, everything has gone according to plan so far. And here in our first semi-final for the men's singles, we have 2 former winners of the Australian Open as well. The 2011 defending champion from Japan, Sho Sasaki, is up against the 2010 winner, Tien Minh Nguyen from Vietnam. And to commentate this one, I'm joined by Stuart Briel, the Australian national junior coach and Athens Olympian back in 2004. Stuart, this is one of the big competitions now between the last 2 champions of this tournament as well.
Yeah, exactly right, Robbie. And I think 2 contrasting game styles too. So you've got Sho, who's very powerful and very good short pushes, compared to Min, who is very known for being very smooth around the court, but probably more defensive.
Well, these two have met 8 times previously. And they actually met in the final of the US Open back in June. There we see Sho Sasaki's road to the semi-final so far, and perhaps the biggest name there, perhaps one of the biggest names of all, Stuart, Tofik Hidiat, who he overcame comfortably in the first game and was forced to work that little bit harder in the second, but he got there in the end, didn't he?
He did. He played an extremely good game. Again, very attacking, and took it away from Tofik, who's known to be attacking as well. But he certainly got rid of a crowd favourite last night. So it was a very good win. But based on the world rankings, he was expected to win that one.
And there's the man he's up against now, Tien Minh Nguyen, the 4th seed here, ranked number 9 in the world. He's just back in to the top 10 as well. That's how he got this far, overcoming the Australian Nelson Un in round 1. And then just that 1 game drop against Kwong Beng Chan in the 3rd round. It's going to be a huge singles match coming up, the first in the men's semi-finals.
Take place. Time.
Interestingly, Stuart, between these two, it's 5-3 the head-to-head. Tien Minh won the first 4. Then Sho Sasaki, he's really just come into his own, really, hasn't he, over the last 12, 18 months, into this player that's now in a position to fight for these major tournaments.
Yeah, exactly right. He's been playing the circuit for a long time, but the first 5 or 6 years, I think he took a long time to get established. But he's burst on the scene in the last 1 to 2 years, and his results over the last 12 months have been exceptional. A huge increase in the world ranking, and he's now at the stage where he's probably favourite to win this game.
The chair umpire, Daniel Law from Hong Kong. And Daniel Law from Hong Kong, the chair umpire, to be assisted by Chandana Nilanta of Sri Lanka, the service judge. Sho Sasaki's first ever win over Tien Minh
On my right, Nguyen Tien Minh
came in the Australian Open a year ago. And since then, he's beaten him twice more, including in the final of the US Open Grand Prix Gold. And it's Tien Minh of Vietnam to serve the opening point. Fabulous lead from Sasaki. Sho at the backcourt. And first blood goes to the defending champion. Just long from Sho, so Tien Minh is on the scoreboard and back with serve.
I think we can watch here for Sho. He likes to keep the shuttle soft and those very soft pushes to try and get that lift so he can use that powerful smash. So I think we can watch for that in this game, and it nearly worked there. One off the frame, but that's certainly the game style that he likes to play.
It's very explosive, isn't it? He waits for the opportunity and then...
He does. I'm looking forward to seeing the speeds that his smash can reach, because it's very well known to be a very heavy, very fast smash, so it should be interesting.
Just misses wide, so it's 3-1 in favour of Vietnam's Tien Minh Nguyen. Oh, great deception, and taking it early as well. The leap as well, the height.
That's right, and that's what the men's singles is about. As soon as you can take that shuttle up so high, it puts your opponent at a disadvantage, and they really have to wait to see where the shuttle's going when you're taking up that high, and that obviously causes them to be a little bit slower around the court.
And there you see the exact example, but at the other end of the court, Tien Minh, when you think about these smashes, we're talking 250 kilometres an hour, aren't we?
We are, absolutely, and up to sometimes the 300-kilometre mark, and the big leap as well, which goes with it, so it's quite exciting.
A fabulous replay there of Tien Minh's leap. And again, arching the back and creating that angle as well.
I think Minh's realised that he can't be controlled by Sasaki, so he really does have to make that pace himself. And you've seen the last 3 or 4 shots that he's taken every opportunity to try and get that shuttle on the ground, those big smashes.
Just long again from Sho. It's a 4-point game, so he's burst out of the blocks early, Tien Minh.
He has best possible start, and it's always good to put some pressure on the higher ranked opponent too.
Well, very much the unforced error that time from Tien Minh Nguyen. And again, Stuart, he was the one initiating the attacks, making things happen in that point. The fast exchange, and then it's Tien Minh that tries something different. It's a sign of confidence, isn't it?
Absolutely, and both players, it's quite easy to see. Both players don't want to lift the shuttle because they realise that each other's attacking game is very strong. So there's a real cat and mouse trying to keep that shuttle low.
Just long. Another classic example of what you're saying, Stuart, there with the first 4 strokes. Very low, just over the net, that cat and mouse game.
Well, the first big one we've seen, I think, and 256 kilometres an hour, the speed gun tells us, so it's an exciting smash and a big leap as well, but that's what Sho's looking for, and he needs more of that.
And how much pressure does that put on Tien Minh as well? 256 kilometres an hour, that smash, so you're in there at the net, you throw up the high defence just to try and get some breathing space, and it just comes back even faster, and that's from right in the backcourt. And again, the point there was there for Tien Minh. Now sees his lead whittled back to just 2. It's Sho Sasaki, the 2011 Australian Open champion, serving in the first game at 5-7.
Bad luck. It was the right shot actually to play it, and I think it would have put a lot of pressure on Min had that one go over. And Sho even using the fast flat serve there at the start of the rally too to try and keep that shuttle low.
Missing wide. Again, just not quick enough to get back his shape.
That's right, and there is a little bit of drift in this stadium too, so you see the shuttle travel out down that line quite a lot, and also the Sho's hit a few out the back too, which leads me to believe there's probably a little bit of drift.
Well, he got himself caught up in 2 minds there, I think. Sho Sasaki, in the end, that was a gift for Nguyen.
And he certainly put that one away too. He made sure that Sho knew that one was going to be a winner.
Well, he was just hoping it was going to go a bit long, wasn't he? And then at the last moment, he had to throw it back up. And he was certainly made to pay. It's a 3-point game in the first men's semi-final. And again, just too much power. Sho Sasaki was in good position.
And this is where we've seen the importance of getting off to a good start, because there's been that 2 or 3 or 4 point gap all the way through, and it's in this scoring system it's very hard to catch up, especially at this level of badminton.
Nguyen Tien Minh just seizing the opportunity. He leads in this first game 11-6. So, Stuart, how do you see it so far? Not what we were necessarily expecting from the all-power, all-action hero Sho Sasaki. He hasn't really had a chance to thrill the crowds, has he, after what went on yesterday as well in that victory over Hidiat?
That's right. Min's played a very clever game and has kept that shuttle fast and flat for a majority of the match, and that's where Sho, he likes to use the soft pushes, not so much used to the flat and hard flight of the shuttle. So I think that's where Min's played a very clever game. But I think we need to look for Sho to really put a bit of pressure on him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 players from Chinese Taipei that just came to the court. They're ready for autograph sessions. Thank you.
Tien Minh Nguyen. There's a 5-point buffer in this opening game. The winner will play the winner of the second semi-final between China's Chen Jin, the top seed, and the number 3 seed from Indonesia, Simon Santoso, which promises to be another fantastic match. And there you see Sho Sasaki just able to do what he does best.
That's right. That's what we're looking for in this second half of this first set. Is I think he will really look to put some pressure on Min now.
Well, not like that. Easy point for Tien Minh Nguyen. A slice of good fortune that time for Sho Sasaki as it catches a big piece of the net there.
That took a lot of the net actually, but lucky to go over. But sometimes that's what you need to get a roll started.
5-point game becomes 4. Sho Sasaki serving at 8-12.
There it is. That's the explosive power into that forehand corner that he does possess, and he really does hit that one down the line hard.
Now is it the serve as well that's helped set that up as well, the deception on the serve.
That's right, that short and flat serve, which really causes the opponent to not be able to net that one back soft. They do need to lift that one, and then that's where that explosive power comes from.
10, 12.
And a 2-point game now. Those 2 quick points and the game's now back there pretty even.
And it was a close one as well from Sho, that last. And again, well wide from Tien Minh, who just looks a little bit rattled now. That point has been whittled away, that lead, to now just a solitary point. So quick, just seizing the opportunity when it presents itself. It's a tied game at 12 apiece.
When we watch the replay there, he sets the rally up perfectly, so Minh is required to hit into that forehand corner, and then he just bang, winner. What an excellent rally that one is. Both players are trying to get the attack and trying to control the game, but that weapon that is the forehand smash down the line is it's brutal.
And all of a sudden you see 267 kilometres an hour from Sasaki, that winner down the line. But Nguyen, he had chances in that point to hit that smash, which he was doing early in the game even. And we've just seen it on the back of that 5-point run for Sho Sasaki, that he's lost that confidence in himself to attack a point, to take the point by the horns. And there he gets it back.
He does.
There was a bit of a gift.
It was actually a pretty ordinary serve, really, and then Minh was able to set up the rally through the good net shot. Maybe Sho thinking Minh was going to hit in a different spot, and a bit slow on that one.
And we're all square again at 13-13. Fabulous touch over the net from Tien Minh. And he's managed just to steady the ship a little bit. The 2010 Australian Open winner. As I mentioned earlier, Sho has the upper hand in recent meetings that started really a year ago in this tournament. He's won 3 of their last 4, including here, and that's landed just in.
Excellent defence. Was very close to that line, but excellent defence shown by Sho there. Minh tried to use Sho's weapon against him, and a big smash down the line, but that whip one cross court. Minh just questioning whether that's a service fault, but what you saw there is Minh creeping towards the net, ready for that short serve, and Sho decided to really hit a hard drive serve into the back corner, which you don't normally see in men's singles. And Minh's just questioning the umpire as to whether the racket head was above the wrist. Down. Yeah, so it really needs to beat in terms, but that's why the service judge is there. It was probably, I think it looked probably okay from where we're sitting, and a really cheap point.
Certainly, Sho Sasaki felt that it was a fair point. He was raising the hands. What's your problem now?
Exactly right.
Is there much mind games between two opponents like this in a game?
Yeah, at this level, absolutely. It is a game that's so close, and this match especially, 15-all, that you can win a couple of points by getting to the opponent's mind, and even small things like losing a couple of points and just asking to change the shuttle, just to have something new to play with. Sometimes that can work in your favour.
Didn't get it the first, but he did the second. And again, we see the little look down as well, looking for a bit of eye contact.
Sho's been around a long time, and he does like to use that power, and he likes to be able to let the opponent know that he does possess that weapon too, which is important.
And he is currently at the top of his game as well. 29 years of age, ranked 6th in the world. The number 2 seed here. That's just breathtaking from Sho Sasaki, the defending champion. 2011 was the best year of his career as well, with that US Open and Australian Open. A pair of victories, runner-up in Vietnam.
That explosive leap is devastating for Min. He really has to, as soon as Sho jumps over in the air, he has to stop. So therefore, he has to wait to see where that shuttle's going, and by then it's too late, it's already hit the ground.
Just misses wide.
Service over, 16-17.
There wasn't much in that either as he went across for that favoured line.
That's actually a pretty ordinary shot, that one. That one just needed to be controlled down and start the rally again instead of going for a big cross-court backhand winner, which is not something we normally see in men's singles. But I guess it was worth a try. It was up 17-16.
Oh, and that's just taken. Oh, Tien Minh doesn't like the call either. It's gone Sho Sasaki's way.
Very important call, that one, actually. 18-17. Oh, well, maybe just missed.
Benefit of the doubt to the linesman. Well, both players now are just upping the ante, aren't they? They're at the top of their art at the moment. Any just slight mistake is just being punished.
That's right, and that's what happens when you play against two explosive players. The shortest mistake or just that lift of being a little bit short, they're upturned and the shuttle's on the ground before you even know it.
Well constructed again from Sho Sasaki, who is the one at the moment which is leading the dance, always by 1 point, being pegged back, then wins on serve, and he's serving now, looking to set up a game point. Just it wide.
Yeah, just push that one wide. Just really trying to set up again for that lift and going maybe for too much of an angle to try and get that short lift so he can use that weapon. 19 all. Now, to win a game, you of course have to win it by 2 points. As that misses wide again, so Tien Minh now from Vietnam, the 2010 Australian Open champion, brings up game point.
Just comes back from Sho Sasaki. Now the first game of the opening men's semi-final goes to Tien Minh Nguyen, 21-19. Fabulous first game. In the end, just 2 points in at 21-19, but we saw there really just what two players, confident, who are almost cancelling each other out, how finely it can turn, because it very much ebbed and flowed. That Tien Minh had the early start, then Sho Sasaki came back. Looked like he might just get on top of things. And then the Vietnamese champion comes back again to grab it.
Thank you. That's right, and that's what happens when you have two very experienced players playing against each other. They understand that there's never a run of points. It's always one back, one fourth, one back, one fourth. You very rarely at this level of competition, when these guys are playing so well, see runs of 5 and 6 points. But Sho is always looking to push Min deep into those corners and try and use those big smashes, but Min's been able to counter-attack very well, and at every opportunity he's had, he's also been able to use that power as well.
Well, the coaching staff for both players, the national team coaches as well, must be very happy with what they've seen so far. The change of ends.
Court 1, 20 seconds.
Both players
Court
just
1,
about
20 seconds.
ready to get back into the action for the start of this second game. Tien Minh Nguyen of Vietnam taking out the first game by 2 points. It was a thrilling, competitive affair by 2 points, 21-19. Things that people love about Sydney, the beaches, the water life, and for this week in April, the Australian Open of badminton as well. It's time for the start of the second game in the first men's semi-final between Tien Minh Nguyen and Sho Sasaki of Japan. What a way to open the second set.
Absolutely. A strange decision by Sho there, actually. He had a couple of opportunities to hit the big, powerful smash and went with the half smash and allowed Min back into the game, and then he just went bang with a 263-kilometre smash cross-court for a winner.
He has at times, Nguyen, looked reticent to really go for the smash every time, but when he has, he's found some fabulous angles and power. It's long from Sho Sasaki. So the first 2 points of this second game go the way of Tien Minh Nguyen.
We see there Min liking to use the middle of the court too to force Sho to push into the corners, creating an angle which he gets a chance to jump up and hit those ones for those winners. So it's I think you watch for this few points here that Min does like to use the middle of the court to set up the rally, like that one there, and then smash down the line.
And again, and going for the body. It's never easy when the shuttle's flying at you at several hundred kilometres an hour, right at your face. It's life preservation more than anything at first, isn't it?
Almost, it almost is, but you get used to it after a while, I guess. And again, another unforced error there from Sho, and now a 4-love lead to Min. Again, we spoke about it in the first set. It's sometimes very hard to come back from a lead of 3 or 4 points at this level of competition, so we'll see how Sho goes.
Well, it was spectacular, but not effective.
Yeah, just overdoing that one a little bit. But left half the court open, and Sho just pushed a nice, easy push down in the corner.
Just kept his head, moving him around. Well, he brought back a 4-point lead in the first game. Tied up at 19 apiece in the first game, but it's back out to 4 points again. Sho Sasaki trailing 1-5. It's long. So Sho Sasaki winning the point, but again, It's Tien Minh with the initiative, isn't it? Trying to make things happen.
That's right, he really was on the attack there and used quite a few of those big hard smashes, but Sho able just to push those back in the court and start rally again and brought the unforced error from in.
Well, he's lost just the one game in the tournament so far, Tien Minh Nguyen of Vietnam. That came against Malaysia's Quang Beng Chan in the third round. Lovely quick hands, a fabulous point, but how about the no-look?
I'm not sure about the no-look forehand. Most of the players will be looking at the shuttle and the racket head rather than the head of the opponent, so I'm not sure of I haven't seen that too often, the look-away forehand, and it wasn't too effective on that occasion either.
It's a clear sign of confidence, though, isn't it, from Tien Minh? Or is he almost trying to goad his opponent and say, look at this, was it a bit of showboating almost from Tien Minh, who, funnily enough, he hasn't made it past the last 16 of a tournament this year as well, so he hasn't brought the best of form into the Australian Open. But he's clearly enjoying himself here now. These two, of course, both love the Australian Open, both former winners. They love coming here.
Absolutely, and the location of this tournament is absolutely magnificent. You probably wouldn't get a better location for a tournament anywhere in the world. It's with Darling Harbour and Sydney at your doorstep, it is really a magnificent centre for badminton, and the way the stadiums come up too is actually world class. So it's actually a very entertaining tournament, but also one that the players love to come to.
Well, it may be the first time in Sydney, but not the last. It's coming back again next year, and I'm sure we've got former world #1s and 8 world champions and junior world champions here this week, and I'm sure that will just grow as well. Because don't forget, there's plenty of pressure on all these players, isn't it? We're going to see it in the other men's semi-final as well with Chen Jin. There's pressure on these players. They need to come here and perform now with the Olympic Games coming up.
That's right, and the Olympic qualifying period ends at the end of April, so these world ranking points are vital to, one, gain a spot in the Olympics, but two, try and secure a good seeding so you can hopefully get yourself a good draw. And we just saw then, Sho actually, I just saw his racket handle, and he's got the grip only halfway up the racket handle, which is something that's been made famous by one of the Chinese players, Lin Dan, currently #2 in the world, but previously #1 and multiple Super Series champion, and it just means that players aren't forced to hold the racket up any higher, and you lose a little bit of power when you do that, so holding the racket down nice and low and be able to get the full leverage to hit those big smashes, and hence the reason why there's no need for a grip up the handle.
Doesn't necessarily help with your judgment, though.
Absolutely not.
As we did see there from Sho Sasaki. Landed a good 3 or 4 inches inside the baseline as well. Just misses. So we're back out to a 5-point game now. And he did manage to pull it back in that first game, but 5 points now. It's the biggest points lead of this match, of this men's first semi-final. Outrageous. Simply outrageous point between these two players. Some remarkable badminton. What a shame almost in the end that it finished the way it did.
Yeah, it would have been great to be finished with a big jump smash, but both players Both players covering the court so well, and that's something that both these players do really well, and especially Min. He just has that smooth movement around the court that looks like he's never in trouble.
Again, it's in, and that's worrying from Sho Sasaki, that body language there.
Absolutely, and Min's just been able to.
As Nguyen leads 11-4.
We saw in those last few points that Min's just been able to increase the speed of those rallies, and really Sho has struggled to keep up with those longer rallies, and also the ones that are just that slightly faster, where Min's been able to push him deep into those corners, and a couple of times he's just left it hoping for the shuttle to go out. And when you get to that stage, it just means that you've started to drop that level a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can come back in these next few points, to see whether he can get off to a good start in this second part of the second set.
It's the intensity as well that's just dropping off, because they've been two very intense points as well. And then just to let it go there, it's like the concentration, the focus is just waning a little bit. It's going to be very hard and long way back now for Sho Sasaki. A place in the final awaits the winner of this first men's semi-final. Tien Minh Nguyen leading 11-4 in this second game. He took the first 21-19. That's an easy point for Sho Sasaki. Now, will he take that sort of gift, that sort of opening, to get back in the game? He's taking his time as well, not to be rushed. He knows he needs to collect his thoughts a little bit after the last 2 points. And that's better as well.
It is. You saw Sho again with that short serve, forcing the lift off Min and then getting that chance to attack, setting up the rally. You see Min just creeping forward on this serve, really trying to force himself to take it up nice and high and get that short lift.
Just misses wide.
He took a bit of a chance there and moved forward early. If it had have gone on that line, it certainly would have been a good shot, the right shot to play. Moving forward on this one there.
Great first defence from Sho Sasaki, but nothing he could do the second time. And it's back out to a 7-point game. Just never allowing Sho Sasaki into the point.
That's right. Min's really turned this into almost a doubles game of badminton, where the shuttle's always kept flat and fast, and then forcing that lift when he gets a chance to jump up and hit those ones for a winner. And you see where he jumps to, he's already on the move forward too, which means that next one's coming even quicker at Sho if it manages to come back.
Again, we see the drift there as it just misses wide. It's a 9-point game, 15-6 to Tien Minh Nguyen. It's landed in, right on the line.
Almost a bit of a lull after a couple of really frenetic fast points that these guys have just taken a couple of points and a couple of easy mistakes.
Which probably won't worry Tien Minh Nguyen so much.
Not with this gap, absolutely right.
An 8-point gap. It's Sho Sasaki that needs to make things happen. And it's not happening for him.
Service over, 17-16.
Nguyen serving at 16-7. Well, third time of asking.
That's much better from Sho, though. That's what he needs to do in this second set if he's going to get back into this match. He really needs to force the issue with a few of these flat and fast rallies and finishing him off at the net.
You can see in those excellent replays just the blur of the shuttlecock. The reaction time of these players quite incredible. And then he does the hard part, and then he just hands it straight back. And for the moment, he can't string that 2 or 3 points together.
That's right. We spoke about that earlier in the match, that once you do get this gap at this level, it's very hard to win multiple points in a row. You see it going back and forth all the time.
Oh, that time it was called long, just the look over the shoulder. So Sasaki serving this time at 9-17. Just misses wide, he knew it as well. 3 points from the final for Tien Minh Nguyen.
18-19.
Just wouldn't get over.
That's right, and this is a type of rally here that actually suits Sho much more. There's no fast, flat play. That's all soft net play to get the lift, to get the chance to attack. But when it seems to go fast and flat all the time during that rally, Min certainly has the advantage, and that's what he's done very well in this second set. Is he's really forced Sho to play a game that he doesn't like to play or not used to playing in that fast, flat.
Again, neither player wanting to get the shuttle too high to open things up. So Sho Sasaki just finding the top of the net.
Oh, that's an impressive shot, that one. Just a leap out of nowhere, and the shuttle ends up on the ground. No step at all, just a half step and then a jump straight up into the air.
No need to set himself, but there hasn't been enough of it, has there? And they're setting up match point, and several of them as well. Here's Tien Minh Nguyen attacking the serve right from the outset.
Just asking for the shuttle to be changed there, and what that will do is it means he can serve short, and he knows Sho can't push too far into the back because that's a new shuttle that might just go that little bit quicker. So a bit of a tactical play there.
And there it is, right in the corner. So Tien Minh Nguyen, the 4th seed, is the first man into the men's singles final, and he's done it relatively comfortably as well. 21-19, 21-11, and avenging in the process his defeat in this competition last year to Sho Sasaki, and then in the final last year of the US Open as well. He's wrestled back the upper hand in their personal duel. There can't be too much complaint really from Sho Sasaki. He just never got into his rhythm, did he, Stuart?
No, that's right. Completely outplayed today by someone who probably has the same amount of experience, maybe a little bit more on the world stage. But certainly very well played by Min, and Sho not quite at his best today. But we still did see that powerful game that he does possess.
And there was some spectacular stuff as well from the graceful Tien Minh, wasn't there? He just prevented Sho Sasaki from using that explosiveness, using that physical power that he has.
That's right, as I spoke about before, keeping that shuttle flat and fast was really something Sho's not used to doing. He likes that shuttle to be a little bit softer and use those nice deft touches at the net to force that lift, whereas Min was very keen to keep that shuttle flat and fast for the majority of the game, and it proved to be a winning formula.
So just 38 minutes for Tien Minh Nguyen. Very comfortably done it was from him, and he'll take some beating as well. So the first man into the men's final of the Australian Open is Vietnam's Tien Minh Nguyen. We're back at the Sydney Entertainment and Convention Centre here. Semi-final day of the 2012 Yonex Australian Badminton Open. We have been treated to some fantastic badminton, whether it be in women's or men's singles, in the doubles or the mixed doubles. And we have another mouth-watering encounter coming up for you now between the #1 seed, Chen Jin of China, a man desperate to break in to the world top 4 rankings. He's up against the Indonesian Simon Santoso, who's the #3 seed here, and world #9. He was as high as world #3 back in 2009. The Indonesian Santoso. He can expect some big support here in the crowd in Sydney as well. This sold-out crowd for semi-finals day. And of course, Chen Jin of China, the #1 seed and world #5, ex-world #1, 2010 world champion in Paris. Can expect a fair little bit of support as well, I suspect. I'm joined by Stuart Brill for this one, former Australian singles national champ. And this is going to be a great match in the offing.
Absolutely, Robbie. We've got a typically Chinese player, being Chen Jin, and his style is typically Chinese. And then we've got a very typical Indonesian style, being Simon Santoso, and has that ability to move around the court very gracefully, but also has that jump smash that he almost hangs in the air.
Well, there we see how they got this far, and for Simon Santoso, well, he's been pushed a little bit in the last 2 rounds and then quarterfinals against Shon Won-ho of Korea Republic. Again, losing that second game. And on 2 occasions, his last 2 occasions, losing that second game pretty comprehensively as well, but managing to turn things around. A little bit hot and cold so far. It'll be a different story up against Chen Jin, the #1 seed here, #5 in the world. In the head-to-head between these two, he has very much the upper hand. As we see, making light work of the Australian Nathan David. And then, if anything, just finding his range in that opening round. And since then, it's been very much plain sailing, even the push from Takuma Ueda in the quarterfinal. We're going to have the final men's semi-final coming right up. It promises to be an absolute cracker. Stay with us. Well, Chen Jin, he is the man to beat. The man coming here, he was the man to beat. And Stuart, if anything, it's because not he's desperate to win the Australian Open, but he needs a few points, doesn't he? Because such is the depth in China that even the #5 in the world isn't guaranteed a place at the Olympic Games.
Absolutely. Olympic Games, you're required to have 3 people ranked in the top 4 to qualify all 3 in the Olympics, and there's 2 players ahead of him at the moment, so he really needs to win this one to cement his spot in the top 4 and claim that 3rd position for China, which will allow them to, I hope for them, control that men's singles draw.
And make sure there's more Olympic gold coming their way. Well, Sydney, for so many, is the sunshine and the surf. And that is perhaps the most famous beach of them all, Bondi Beach in Sydney's eastern suburbs, just the south side of the harbour, where the surf is high and the sun is always strong. And here we are at another sellout at Darling Harbour, the Sydney Convention and Exhibition Centre. Home all week to this world-class badminton venue that they have installed. All the players delighted to be here, delighted to be part of it. And our final men's semi-final as they just check the flight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
one last time, this for a place
Tianjin, China,
in the 2012 Australian Badminton Open final against Vietnam's Tien Minh Nguyen, who qualified earlier today by defeating the defending champion Sho Sasaki. Huge support, as expected, for the Indonesian. Simon Santoso. Can he cause the upset? Australian chair umpire. And great aggressive first point as well from Santoso.
1-love.
Simon's known to be very smooth around the court and just breathes around the court and sometimes has a very defensive style, but we've seen him over this week actually improve that, and he's now got a real attacking flair to his game as well.
Well, that's very much, you mentioned at the top of the programme, Stuart, that Tianjin has a very Chinese style of play. That's very much just a relentless battering ram, isn't it? Just stepping up and taking the game point after point after point, shot after shot to your opponent.
That's right, and with his extra height that he has over Simon, and he has that ability to jump up and get those really steep shots to come down and really put a lot of pressure on Simon, which is what he's trying to negate there by taking every opportunity to attack the shuttle and bring the shuttle down.
It's long and wide from Simon Santoso. Tianjin reading the flight of it immediately. These two have met 7 times previously on the circuit. Just long. Great awareness.
Very good control by Tianjin. Just moving Santoso to the back corners, bringing him forward, then moving him back again, and really not giving too much opportunity to a smash from attacking positions. But Simon's still trying to get that shuttle to come down, which makes that defence just a little bit easier for Chin.
I mentioned they've played 7 times previously. Just 1 win for the Indonesian. 6 victories for Tianjin. The first back in the Swiss Open of 2007. The most recent last year at the Jarum Indonesian Open. So he's got the wood on his opponent. And Tianjin leads 4-1 in this opening game.
I have been keeping an eye on Tianjin throughout the week, and actually after a few of the early singles matches I did see the coach take him over to the practice courts and give him half an hour worth of footwork. So I think he's looking to peak for these next 2 matches, being the semi-final and possibly the final, and then and certain qualification of the Olympics, and then move on to some hard training after that in preparation for the Olympics.
Landed in. Fabulous point from Simon Santoso. Well, that's the beauty of the timing of this Australian Badminton Open. this year, isn't it? Coming, it's one of the last tournaments before all the national selections and the selection process for the Olympic Games. There's so much at stake, and you see it in a player of Chen Jin's quality that he's anything but assured a place in the Olympic Games. And just a couple of unforced errors as well. Creeping into his game. It's all about focus, isn't it? Staying disciplined.
That's right, it is, and at this level you can't afford to give away too many easy points, but he is playing a very calculated game at the moment. We haven't seen any of the big hard smash attack that he's known for, so it's quite interesting. He's changed his style to try and put Simon off a little bit.
Just completely took his eye off the shuttlecock, did he, there for a moment, I think, Simon Santoso. You don't see that very often.
No, I think he might have been thinking it was just going to go long or out the sideline, and then last minute, oops, no, I need to hit that one.
Well, not one for the show reel. One best forgotten, perhaps, by Simon Santoso. It was just as he was coming back into the game, and I was just going to say, if Chen Jin decides to, you know, not play such an aggressive style and invite Simon Santoso into the game like that, where he gets the point with a fabulous smash down the line. You wonder if you're not playing into his hands, just building up his confidence.
I think so. I think Chen believes in himself that he's got that ability to go to that next level reasonably quickly in the match, and I think we might see that at some stage. He might just put some pressure on with a few more attacking shots when he thinks they're needed, but initially very calculated in the way he's playing.
Well, it's all square at 5-5 in this opening game. Simon Santoso delighting the fans as well in attendance here. Brilliant point from Simon Santoso, who leads by 1, 6-5. And Stuart, you've played in Indonesia as well. You know the racket the fans can make, the noise when they support their players, and you get that behind a player, it can lift them as well.
Oh, absolutely. They're crazy in Indonesia when you play over there. There's drums, there's whistles, there's bells, there's anything that makes a bit of noise, and they constantly play it through every rally, through every point, to the stage where they start calling the lines too for the lines umpires. They'll certainly yell out if they think it's wrong or right, or especially if an Indonesian hits it, it's always in. So it's quite exciting to play over in Indonesia, actually. It's a great experience.
Well, we might have a little bit of Indonesia here in the centre of Sydney soon. Simon Santoso,
7-5.
the number 3 seed against the top seed, against the world number 5, Chen Jin of China. And he's just starting to show that he is every bit Chen Jin's equal at the moment. Again, it's a 3-point game. Simon Santoso, 8-5.
I was surprised that one didn't get smashed straight back down the line, actually. He went for that extra, a little bit extra on that one, and really I think just that smash straight down the line would have been an option to look at for that one.
Simon.
Both players taking their time, not to be rushed. Well, that was unlucky from Simon that time. It's a great pickup already from Nguyen Tien just to stay in the game.
That's right.
The point.
And that had a little bit extra on it, that one, I think. That was going for the line.
Shuttle.
Just with a couple of those, the force of those smashes has just collapsed that shuttle slightly, so the players are very keen to change it any time there's anything wrong with the shuttle at all.
Well, they are hitting it very, very hard out there, but we are going through almost a point at the moment. There it is again, with that one missing quite comfortably in the end. And that's just opened the door a little bit for Chen, those two misses on the smash.
Simon just taking a little bit of extra time between each point too, and I think that's probably as a result of the amount of attacking that he's been playing. That can sometimes take it out of you more than the defensive side of things. So the big jump smashes and the fast movement around the court can sometimes cause you to fatigue just that little bit quicker. Although that one seemed to work very well.
Well, that's because he's taking that little bit of time in between each point. He can keep on jumping.
He's even asked for a let, which is again a little bit unusual this early on in the match, but the umpires decided to grant the let, so he does get a small break to have a towel and have a bit of a drink.
Well, he's leading 9-7 over the top seed Nguyen Tien. Just wanting to have a bit of a towel down. It's a full house here at the Sydney Convention and Exhibition Centre, so there's plenty of noise as well. Perhaps the temperature's just starting to rise a little bit down on the court side as well. That's too much angle.
Just took a little bit off that smash actually. That wasn't a full-blooded smash. That was just a three-quarter one, which gave Simon just that little bit extra time, which he wasn't expecting, and he overhit that cross-court block.
Long from Nguyen Tien, about half a foot long as well. So it is still just taking him a little bit of time to find his feet here. After what was a confident start, Simon Santoso playing out of his skin.
Play it again, I didn't see it. 10-8.
Well, replay the point because the linesman at that far end was unsighted. Nguyen Tien didn't like the call, but it'll be a replay point. Santoso leads 11-8. Well, it has been a very impressive display so far from Simon Santoso, Stuart.
It has. Simon's taken every opportunity to hit that shuttle down the line, and also cross-court too, so some very strong attacking shots. But Chen has just seemed to be that little bit lackadaisical around the court and not putting the pressure on at the net that he needs to, and a little bit too keen to flick off the net too, which gives Simon a chance to hit that down. I think I'd like to see a few more net shots to create the shuttle coming up to him, which might give him a chance to attack a little bit better.
20 seconds.
But he's certainly playing a very defensive game at this stage.
Well, we saw it in his first match back in round one. He was just a little bit, not overconfident, almost a little bit rusty coming out of the blocks, and just needs to find his stride again here. Well, the Indonesian hero, gold medalist at Sydney 2000, and without doubt one of the greatest
11-8.
badminton players of all time, Taufik Hidayat, was eliminated out of the competition at the quarterfinal stage, but it's his compatriot Simon Santoso now who is wowing the crowd in this semi-final against the top seed Chen Jin. And Santoso is doing just that, 263 kilometers an hour.
12-8.
The smash as he opens up a 4-point buffer.
We see it there, set up with a couple of fast flat shots, and then that awkward lift from Chen Jin, and Simon just being able to put that away with some power. Again, it's a little bit strange that Chen Jin take the opportunity to hit that shuttle down with some force. He had a chance to jump up and hit that one for a winner, and just chose to clear, which allowed Simon to get back into the game. And again, another powerful smash, 252 kilometres an hour.
Well, he's finding plenty of power. He's not as tall as his opponent from China either.
There we go. I think that's the kind of game style that Chen Jin needs to play, and he does possess those very sharp smashes.
Well, it was just crisp, wasn't it? It wasn't flamboyant, it wasn't spectacular. Just whacked straight down the line. But again, it's Simon moving him around the court, looking to make things happen.
13. Shuttle.
He's consistently looking to bring Chen Jin into the net and drag him forward, and then create that opportunity for that strong attacking that he does possess. But that one obviously just overhit slightly.
Well, that's part of playing against a player like Chen Jin, isn't it? The top seed, you know you have to go for the lines. You know you have to go for the angles.
Yep. Otherwise, it's coming back every time.
I wonder how much
13.
of an effect the drift is having in these games as well. I mean, the players have been here all week, but not necessarily with the full house that we had yesterday and we have today. And Chen Jin just does seem to be, apart from struggling a couple of times with his judgment on the high ball, but just allowing the shuttle to be up there a lot, spend a lot of time in the air, and just allow Simon Santoso to make the mistake himself.
That's right, and I think the end that Simon's at the moment is certainly the tougher end to play at too. So I'll be interested to see the next set, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chen does come out much more attacking in the second set when he's up that end, which is a little bit harder to lift to. But certainly the air conditioning, with this amount of people in the stadium and with the air conditioning on, the shuttle does move around a little bit, and you will find that it does follow a certain pattern though, so the players are able to get used to it reasonably quickly.
It's landed in. That's all. That's what that's all about, finding those lines.
14. Line judge.
I think what Chen's saying is that he doesn't like the fact that Simon signals to the line judge once he's left the shuttle. So you're not supposed to make any display of whether you believe the shuttle's in or out. The line judge needs to make that call, and Chen's just having a word to the umpire to make sure he keeps an eye on Simon calling the lines, just to help out the line judge now and again.
Well, he's got the better part of the supporters in the stands as well, doing that for him already. Simon, he doesn't need to that time. It's called in, it's called good. And so we edge closer to the end of this first game, and still the reaction from Chen Jin is not forthcoming at the moment.
Disguised the big smash with a soft drop as a result of, I think, probably breaking a string by the look of it, and realised that if he had hit with any power, the shuttle could have gone anywhere, so he's decided to use the thing and then asked to change the racket.
A brilliant shot in the circumstances as well, completely catching out Chen Jin. So the new racket does come out. Does that upset a player's rhythm?
Not really. All the rackets would be strung at a very similar tension. So, and most of the time they're strung the night before or that day. So they're all freshly restrung, and he does get a chance to have a couple of quick hits to make sure it's okay. But normally not too much of a problem. If anything, the smash might just come off a little bit harder now.
Good again, Chen Jin. He watched it carefully all the way down into the line as well. It's a 5-point game in this first game. Best of 3 for a place in the final against Tien Minh Nguyen of Vietnam. Starting seat. Just a few unforced errors coming in to both players' game now.
That's right. They're both just trying to hit every line almost, and the players are leaving a couple, and a majority are dropping in at the moment.
5 points becomes a 3-point game. Chen Jin responds.
Excellent rally, some magnificent net play, and then possibly Simon hitting one that was maybe just travelling wide at some stage. That one there, that might have been going out, and the short clear was put away easily.
There's a real efficiency of movement, isn't there, in this smash?
That's right, and excellent jump smash, and you see when they jump smash too, they're jumping as if they're going forward too, so if the next one does come over, they're able to cover that court. The last thing you want to be doing is jumping backwards, because obviously it makes the court so big.
That one misses, and all of a sudden, what was a 5-point lead for Simon Santoso at 17-12 is now a 1-point game. Chen serving at 16-17. Overruled.
It did look out from where we were sitting. We certainly both jumped up off the seat. So, and I think this is what Chen Jin's able to do. He's able to reel off these points in a row, which can cause a problem for the opposition, especially at this level. And he's just reeled off 4 points in a row, and now it's 17 all. He has that ability just to increase that speed when he needs to and put some real pressure on the opponent. I won't be surprised if we see a couple of big attacking shots if he gets the opportunity here.
He just went up and showed Simon Santoso the couple of centimetres he felt it was out as well. It's pretty tense out there between these two. All square at 17 apiece. Well, it misses wide. Well, it's great hustle from Santoso.
It was. We see here how important it is to control the net, and those early couple of shots there was extremely close to the net, forcing Chen to lift the shuttle, which gave Simon the opportunity to get that attack.
All of a sudden, having worked so hard to square things up again,
19.
at 17 apiece, Simon Santoso kicks again. Left that. We could see it clearly dropping in from our position. Santoso again opens the door to let Chen Jin back in. That was another of those points, Stuart, that could have gone either way at various times during the rally.
That's right, and the drift just does. That's the way it is actually moving the shuttle. So it's unlikely that those ones down that line will go out too often, unless it's hit a long way out.
It's long, we're all square again.
Well, I think Chen spent most of the time on the ground on that rally, but still managed to win it. It's an excellent defensive play and horizontal on the ground at some points. There we go, laying on all fours. And Simon just looking to push that out into the back corner, but overhit it. So we see the court being swept now because the players were diving and leaving sweat on the floor.
Behind you, in the middle.
So the players take the opportunity to have another quick towel and drink for a final explosive effort before the end of this set.
Well, they just about deserve it, don't they? So many times the top seed Chen Jin has looked out of this opening game. Never more so at trailing 17-12. But he has it now. He never looks flustered, does he? Never looks worried. Just that ice-cold mentality. We're going to keep going. Another point. Let's go.
That's right. He certainly he hasn't seemed flustered at any stage in this match, and looks like it's all in control, even if you're 4 or 5 points behind, which is there we go. Just that explosive power to try and finish off this set and bring up the first.
Well, we were wondering when it was going to come. And there you just see it. And the chant of Chen Jin again. Game point. Listen to the applause. Such an appreciative crowd, and they love it when their man Simon Santoso in his underdog role keeps this one going. 20-20, so now it's not the first to 21, it's the first to 21 with a break of 2, so you have to win by 2 points until you get to potentially 29 apiece, and then it's just win a point and it's yours.
That's it, sudden death. Again, there we see the explosive power of Chen Jin to be able to finish the point early, and as we've been saying throughout this first set, that we've been surprised he hasn't used this more often, but obviously he's decided to use it when it counts.
And just to set up a second game point for the top seed.
We see both players taking just that little bit extra time. Chen Jin maybe giving Simon the opportunity to think about this point a little bit extra, maybe put a little bit of pressure on him. He knows he's had the lead all the way through this first game, so it's important that he tries to win this first set. But
well, Chen Jin's just turning the knife at the moment, isn't he?
He is. There it is.
And there it is. The first game of the second men's semi-final goes to Chen Jin, the top seed, 22-20.
Won by Chen Jin, 22-20.
I think now, Stuart, more than ever, is when Simon Santoso has to show some real mental strength, because that has to hurt.
Absolutely. He was on top nearly all the way through that first set, and really this is where he really does have to show his ability to fight through maybe a tough situation, and really I think the important thing is here, he can't get down too early in this one, otherwise Chen Jin will just run away with this match. He really does need to get off to a flyer of a start and use those very solid net shots that he does to set up that attacking play. See Chen Jin just laying on the floor at various times, but able to recover so quickly and still manage to get that next shuttle he should have come back. And the control he has from virtually laying on the floor is unbelievable.
Well, that's exactly it. I think you've hit the shuttle on the head. To throw yourself like that, not only get the shuttle back, but then be back in place for the next one, because you know it's coming back again every time. Remarkable. I just wonder if Chen Jin hasn't just had a word to some of his medical staff there as well, if he's taken a bit of skin off the knee in one of those diving moments. He has that right knee. He
has actually, and that technically he shouldn't be allowed to continue until the bleeding stops. So you may see the umpire or referee call for the doctor to get a bit of tape on that knee.
Well, here they are now with the first aid kit. The officials. Well, you'd almost be entitled to have your own Band-Aid man come out for that one, wouldn't you? Bondi Beach is one of the great attractions of Sydney. The sun and the surf, things that epitomise the traditional Australian culture. But they're stepping away from the beach this week and coming into the centre of town to the Convention and Exhibition Centre to see the Australian Badminton Open. Now, in one of those points just before the end of that opening game, both players were throwing themselves everywhere just to get the shuttlecock back in play, and Chen Jin, the #1 seed who won that opening game 22-20, just took a bit of skin off that right knee. You would have thought perhaps a little Band-Aid would do the trick. They've got the antiseptic, they're cleaning it, making sure it's all right. Stuart, what's the rules on the blood bin?
Yeah, so you're not allowed to continue playing if there's blood apparent at all. So we see him here just look to take a bit of skin off the knee in this next dive across, dragging that knee across the floor. And the floor is a rubberized floor, but it is actually a little bit coarse too. So if you do slide on it, you will take skin off. It obviously helps with the footwear as well to get that bit of traction.
More fabulous pictures as well coming to you from Darling Harbour. Some fantastic slow motion replays. You really get the full feel for just how athletic these players are.
I think this break from Chen Jin too will give Simon maybe a bit of a time to dwell on the fact that he's just lost a set where he really should have probably won that. So this could possibly play into Chen Jin's hand as well, because Simon will have spent the last minute or two thinking why he didn't win that set, and if he doesn't get over it quickly and focus on this one, we could see Chen Jin really run away with this very quickly if he gets a lead.
Well, it's Chen Jin, the top seed, who's just bided his time, hasn't he, in that first game? Behind as much as 5-6 points at one stage. And then just came out of his shell, flexed his muscle a little bit to take it. And you say certainly, probably the best thing for Simon Santoso would have been to try and just get straight back playing again. Put that disappointment out of his mind. And Chen Jin, former world #1, 2010 world champion in Paris as well, knows that so well. Just taking his time, needs a bit of a medical timeout.
And here we see him taking the opportunity to hit the shuttle down now. So I think from this other end you will see him attack a little bit more like he did in this rally here, and that could cause trouble for Simon.
Well, he's taken the opening point from the Indonesian, Simon Santoso.
Service over.
Well, he's looked at his hand there. I'm not sure whether that played too much part in him serving into the net, but anyway, that's just an unforced error.
But all those sort of little things will give Simon hope as well. Great recovery a couple of times there where it looked like he was heading the wrong way. Again, Chen Jin with just that efficiency of movement. Doesn't want to ever do too much, so he always gives you just that little chance that sometimes you think you can keep going for everything.
Thank you.
That's right, and Simon there, wonderful, being able to just turn defence straight into attack with almost 2 steps. He's in a defensive position. Chen Jin hits a slightly loose shot, straight up and smashes it down the line.
Simon.
Semi-finalist last year at Macau and China, Simon Santoso. Runner-up already this year, 2012, in the German Open Grand Prix Gold, where he lost to a certain Dan Lin, who just happened to be the world #1, not just the top seed. So he must be getting a bit sick of seeing these Chinese players all ahead of him on the rankings and standing in between him and prize money and silverware.
That's right. Well, Lin Dan is most probably the favourite to win gold at this year's coming Olympics, and plays probably substantially fewer tournaments than the majority of the top players in the world, but he's still able to contain that #1 and #2 world ranking, playing less tournaments than the majority of the top players around the world. So he certainly peaks for the big tournaments, and has had an exceptionally strong record over the last 12 to 24 months. And here we see Chen Jin, 277 kilometres an hour, perhaps a metered leap off the floor and a big smash down the line. And again, that smash moving forward just in case the next one comes back. It's very impressive.
And the world record for a smash, I believe, sits somewhere over 300 kilometres an hour.
It does, set by a Malaysian, one of the Malaysians, but a doubles player actually. So, which doubles does allow you to have a partner there to back you up. Once you put all your effort into a big smash, you don't want to be trying to get the next one. So that's where the doubles partner comes in handy.
Brilliant stuff again from Simon Santoso. Just when it looked as though Chen Jin was getting back into it with a huge smash of his own.
Well, the way Chen Jin's going here, he won't end up with any skin left on his knee, but it's a small price to pay for a finals berth. Again, the control to be able to get that back, but and straight up again, but this time Simon so quick to the net. Oh, that's very, very steep. Not the same amount of power as the straight smash, but extremely steep, and that's landed very close to that front service line, which is which is exceptionally hard to get. We'll see it here. Yeah, very close to that front service line. Did take a little bit of speed off it to get that slice and steepness.
And he seems to have rebounded quickly enough from that disappointment then of losing the first game. He leads by 3. Called out. Leads by 4.
Well, he's done exactly what we said he needs to do and get off to a strong start. So we'll be interesting to see whether Chen Jin can do what he did in the first set and peg it back when it counted right near the end, or whether Simon can keep this gap. That's the speed. That's very, very quick, and that's a strong smash down the line, 230 kilometres an hour, and then to follow it up with a push virtually straight back to the body.
So quick to accelerate as well towards the net. Chen Jin, the winner of the Swiss Open just 2 weeks ago, round of 16 at the All England Open, one of the prestigious tournaments on the circuit. Round of 16 at Germany too. He'll be disappointed with those results.
Yeah, he will be. I think he was looking at All England especially and German Open to really try and consolidate that fourth spot in the world, and perhaps maybe it's a benefit for us, because if he had, we might not have seen him here. So possibly a bit of a plus for us to see him here.
And in the semi-finals, looking for a place in the final. And again, you think Santoso, just when he's got the break, just when he's getting away a little bit, but then Chen Jin just reels him back in.
Well, that one wasn't far from coming back over again. I think he almost retrieved that one, but a very strong smash down the line.
7-4.
Did brilliantly to get the first one back.
And Simon does like just to take a couple of steps towards the net after he's hit a big winner like that, just to make sure that Chen Jin knew.
A bit of eye contact after the point. It's just missed. So again, the 3 points comes back to 2. Never blows out. Having said that, it was out to 5 in that first game. But Santoso had this moment in the first game as well, didn't he, where he was riding that wave of confidence.
That's
when
right.
Everything he was hitting was going in.
Oh, miss-hit that one. Well set up, well constructed rally too, and well set up, but just overhit that last shuttle when possibly could have been a slightly less powerful shot for a winner. And again, they changed the shuttle. Again, both players just taking that little bit extra time. The umpire's starting to get a little bit frustrated, but at the end of the day, they're both taking a bit of time, so it's not too much of a problem.
The Australian umpire has asked both players just to keep the pace up.
Their feet there. That's probably the best rally we've seen in this singles match so far. Chen Jin coming out on top. Again, another big powerful smash down the line, but both players retrieving shuttles that probably should never come back.
And again, when it's a big point, Chen Jin stands up, doesn't he? Using all that height. He serves now at 6-8.
And again, just that little bit extra time between the rally, finding a bit of feather on the court that he needs to move, which really doesn't cause any problems, but it's just a tactic that the top players use to slow the game down and play it at their terms.
see it. It's like the first smash is just the setup for the kill.
You're exactly right. He uses that first one to set it up, and we'll see it here. That's that first one, and then bang.
It's fine, play. It's a bit roughy, play. It's fine.
So Simon again just trying to change the shuttle. He's lost a couple of points in a row, so sometimes the tactic is to change the shuttle. Or the best thing he's done too is he's probably had a bit of a rest as well while he's been asking the umpire. So all these tactics the top players use to just to gain that little bit of an advantage when required.
Well, he took a couple of let calls, didn't he, in that first game as well, when he was leading as well, it might be added. Brilliant from Nguyen Tien, who squares it all at 8 apiece.
Simon's broken another string, so he's taken the time to take a drink while he gets a new racket out of his bag. And the umpire's going to have another chat to him.
Don't just take one. You're only changing your racket.
Nelly Hoare.
Yeah, but you're only changing your racket.
The umpire there just saying you're changing your racket, not having a drink, not toweling down.
So he's managed just to pull another one out of his bag to make sure it's okay.
To make sure he makes the right choice.
And now we need to put a bit of powder on his racket too to make sure the grip's okay. So he's had a good minute and a half break now, so he's it's served its purpose. Wander over, pick up the shuttle.
Which he wants
to change the shuttle
again, which this time he can get changed. And then came straight back the last time. He had to play another point with it.
Now, obviously taking a new racket out of his bag, so I guess to have a bit of a hit with it as well. So
thank you.
He's probably had 2 minutes break, which is important when Nguyen Tien Min's just been on a bit of a run of points too. So he's used it as a tactic to slow the game down a little bit and try and start again. Yep.
But you don't want to make him angry either.
That's right.
Nguyen Tien, for the first time in this second game, leads Simon Santoso.
Sensational rally, and Nguyen Tien, 3 times he was sprawled across the ground and 3 times he got back up, retrieved the shuttle, and
10-8.
He's now also asking for the court to be mocked. But we see here on the replay just that smash down the line again, and he uses it so effectively to be able to smash down the line, and he knows he can move forward straight away on that one. It's very hard to hit a cross court from that position, so he can hit that smash down the line and explode forward.
He has been throwing himself about in these last couple of points as well. Gets the linesman in to just wipe down the court a little bit. You just wonder for poor old Simon Santoso, has the tide turned again? He'll have to dig deep. He does.
Service over. 9-10.
Amazing reflexes. You see in those replays just how fast everything is moving, how much pressure is on the bodies as well. This is wide.
Service over. 11-9.
So Nguyen Tien leads 11-9. Well, 11-9 to Nguyen Tien. We've been playing for nearly 50 minutes now, and we're just midway through the second game. It has been intensely competitive. Every point has been battled for, as you see in the highlights.
That's right, both players throwing themselves around. Both players managed to get nearly every shuttle back, and then just the explosive power from both players, but mostly Chen Jin in this second set has really been the difference.
Well, Simon Santoso has played some entertaining stuff, particularly in that first game here as well when he had his moment. But overall, you just get the feeling that there's that professionalism in Chen Jin, which will just see through in the end. The fabulous, the unique, the one-of-a-kind Sydney Harbour. What a fabulous setting for these first ever Yonex Australian Badminton Open to be held in the harbour city. Jump on a boat, see the sights, and get in here to Darling Harbour for semi-finals day, where Chen Jin, the top seed, is just showing all his class at the moment. He's being pushed to the absolute limit, but you get the feeling he's still got just another gear to step up if need be. A couple of let chords there in the end. Just going Simon Santoso's way. He closes it back to 10-11.
And Simon is known for very tight net shots and very skillful around the net, and I think that's why we see Chen Jin looking to push the shuttle to the backcourt all the time, and we see just not tipping over the net. That could easily go over.
He does all the hard work, Chen Jin as well, but in the end, it's just an unforced error in the end that puts it wide. Simon wants the court to be rubbed down. The umpire saying, just do it with your foot, let's keep moving. There's one small child somewhere in the auditorium who's not happy with something. I don't think it's the badminton, which is of the highest order. Just out by Chen Jin.
Service over. 11-12.
This is becoming a real battle of wits, isn't it, to see who can just get the psychological edge over their opponent. They both have the most amazing repertoire of shots, and just when you think Simon Santoso is out, he digs a little deeper into that bag of tricks, doesn't he?
That's right, and again, the attacking play and being able to set it up with that push off the net, and Chen Jin again laying on the ground, but we've been going 52 minutes, and I think that we sense the crowd would like to see a third set in this one, so it's at the moment the crowd's trying to lift Simon to a second set win.
The chai of Chen Jin in reply to Indonesia, which was just before. Both players hugely supported here. You can cut the tension with a knife.
That one was called in.
Right on the line. Just before that, interestingly, Stuart, when Simon again just as though he wasn't going to hit the shot at all, and then just at the last moment.
yeah, just misjudged that one. Thought it was going to travel out and realised last minute that he needed to hit that one. Chen Jin just again having a word with the umpire, asking if Simon doesn't, can he refrain from signalling whether it's in or out to the line judge.
That is fabulous angle.
Absolutely, expecting the one down the line again and just whip that one cross-court with a bit of slice to make that shuttle just drop that little bit quicker. And on the line, Simon trying to get there with one step, but there's no way you can cover that amount of court with just one step.
Chen Jin again. The chant and getting a little bit louder as well. Perhaps they can feel their man in the ascendancy. What a disguise.
A little bit of deception there. Chen Jin looking for that one, flicking to the corner, and I think he was looking to try and jump up and smash that one for a winner, but Simon just delaying it and then using the wrist to just to lay the shuttle off cross court.
Incredible rally. How much longer can these two keep this up? Can they do it into a third game?
Well, I think the crowd hope they can, and we hope they can too, but Simon, just a couple of very, very tight net shots, but then Chen Jin able somehow to lift it all the way to the back of the court, and meaning that Simon can't get that the steepness and the power that he needs to get that winner through Chen Jin with his excellent defence. And again, they're just swapping the shuttle after it's been
battered.
Yeah, it has been. It has been.
Another huge, long and violent rally. (15-13). Chen Jin has led for most of this second game. A bad miss from Simon, and he bangs his head as well. He knows it.
There was a wide open court there. He'd set that rally up very, very well, and just again trying to overhit it, but possibly forced by Chen Jin because of his defence and his ability to retrieve those shuttles. And again, he was on all fours waiting for that one to come over.
Well, we saw Chen Jin turn around 5 points in the first game. But this is 3 points the other way now. Can Simon Santoso turn that around? It's missed wide.
That's the drift. That's the drift. The wind will carry that shuttle out down that line every time. So I think Simon's realised that just a lack of concentration there, and it's so easy to do in the middle of a point too. You forget. You're used to training in centres where there's no wind, but you're playing these big arenas and there's always wind. This is actually a very good setup. In a majority of the tournaments around the world, there will be substantially more drift than this stadium produces. So it's actually an excellent badminton arena.
It's certainly working to Chen Jin's favour at the moment. Oh, and again, the mistake by Simon. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point game.
18-13.
Chen Jin getting a nod from the coaches, just saying, yep, that's exactly the right tactic. We need to force those longer rallies, and then Simon's very keen to try and finish off a couple of those, possibly a little bit of fatigue, and that's caused a couple of these errors late in the match.
He's probably Obviously, he wants it to go to 3 games and hopefully get a second win, but you wonder if he's not brought in a little bit of fatigue or something into the game, asking for those lets right from the start as he attacks that point and kills it early.
That's right. I mentioned earlier on in the match that Chen Jin was really forcing Simon to attack a lot, and that can take a lot of energy out of you early on, and that's possibly a result of a lot of the lets that he's asked for to try and gain some of that stamina back.
A bronze at the Olympic Games in Beijing in 2008 for Chen Jin in the men's singles. He wants to go back and go a shade or 2 better if possible in London. 2012, it's in from Simon. He's going to have to fight a little bit harder.
It looks like he's got a bit of fight in too. Again, he's wandered up to the net just to make sure Chen Jin realised that was a very good shot. You see it here, and he just wanders up and has a look at him laying on the ground again.
He trails by 3 now. Simon Santoso of Indonesia, 15-18. He lost the first game, 22-20. No quarter asked, nor given. And how about that from Chen Jin?
Just a change of pace there, just explosive. Jumped up, cross court. Simon was not expecting that at all.
The chant of Indonesia, Indonesia again for Santoso. It needs to happen now. Match point for Chen Jin. And again, after just biding his time, after just waiting for the moment, he just steps it up a gear, doesn't he?
He does. Tactically, this has been an excellent match from Chen Jin. First set, he just moved him around the court, and when needed to, exploded, won 3 or 4 points at the end and took the first set 22-20. And now, again, he's just exploded midway through this section of this second set and has got a 5-point lead, match point.
What a way to qualify for the final of the Australian Open. The top seed, Chen Jin of China, in his quest to make the London Olympics, starts here in Sydney with an appearance in the final where he will take on Vietnam's Tien Minh Nguyen after overcoming Simon Santoso of Indonesia, 22-20, 21-15. Now to look into your crystal. Look ahead to finals day. Tien Minh was very impressive as well, the 2010 Australian Open champion, in overcoming the 2011 Australian Open champion, Sho Sasaki. But can he match Chen Jin?
Well, if Chen Jin plays like he did today, the answer is no, I think. I think the power that he's got and the speed that he's got around the court is unbelievable, and that was a brutal match for Simon. Not very often do you see a 2-set match go over the hour mark, and this one did, and it was only 21-15 in the second set, so it was a long match. Excellent tactics by Chen Jin, but Minh tomorrow from Vietnam has got his work cut out. We just see the explosive power of Chen Jin.
Well, that's how it finished. 1 hour and 1 minute, 22-20. He came from behind there, from 5 points down in that first game, Chen Jin, before running out 22-20, 21-15 to complete semi-finals day. here's how the day panned out in the women's semi-final singles. Bae Yunju of Korea Republic defeated Ai Goto, and she will now play China's Han Li in the final after she overcame another Korean in Sung Ji Hyun. It wasn't a good day for the Japanese in the men's singles. Tien Minh Nguyen knocked out the number 2 seed Sho Sasaki 21-19, 21-11. And Chen Jin, as we just saw, overcoming Simon Santoso. We also had some women's double action where the Chinese pair of Luo Ying and Luo Yu overcame the defending champions Matsuo and Nato of Japan, also in straight sets. Well, it's been an absolutely fantastic semi-finals day. We've seen some breathtaking badminton from the 2012 Yonex Australian Badminton Open. And of course, we are ready to do it all again for finals day. So join us then for that, for more from Darling Harbour and the Australian Badminton Open.